Chapter 9, A Knight's Oath. Hopefully you're all having a great day. You've just ridden into Camelot, where an arrow arcs through the sky, straight towards you. My lady, look out! No! Guinevere! Arthur bolts in front of you, raising his shield. The arrow clatters harmlessly against it, but your relief is short-lived. Time to die. A masked figure rushes from a nearby alley, blade raised to strike you down, with more masked assassins streaming after him. Knock him over with my horse. Don't endanger the horse. Get away. You free your foot from your horse's stirrups and kick him squarely in the chest. You will not touch her. As your would-be attacker hits the ground, Lancelot slams two more assassins into the wall, and Arthur disarms another with the Excalibur. Guinevere, are you hurt? His expression is one of sheer agony, and you shake off your shock as more masked figures rush out of the alleys towards you. I'm alright, but who are these people? I don't know, but they are far too many of them. Nearby townsfolk scream and flee as Arthur and Lancelot engage the new wave of attackers, swords flashing in the sun. You can't stop all of us. In the onslaught, your protectors begin ushering you back towards the city's gates, and Arthur's voice rises above the din. Lancelot, get the princess out of the city. Keep her safe until I've secured Camelot. Arthur, no. Your stomach twists at the thought of leaving him to face the assassins alone. For all that they have defeated, more are still coming. Please, Guinevere, go. As he lifts Excalibur in one hand, spinning to face the latest threat, he glances back at you. If any harm came to you, I could not bear it. Arthur. If any harm came to you, I could not bear it. And for a moment, among the chaos, he leans from the saddle towards yours, brushing his hand against your cheek. Then I shall take as much care as I can. I would never wish to cause you grief. See that you don't. You press your cheek against the warmth of his touch, but he wheels away, lifting Excalibur. Do not worry, Arthur. I will protect her with my life. Lancelot places himself between you and the masked mob, the blows from his sword ringing out as he urges you towards the gate. Behind you, a dozen assassins sneer as they surround Arthur. Looks like you're outnumbered, your majesty. Ah, but you forget a king never truly fights alone. As you ride through the gate, a trumpet sounds. You catch a glimpse of several mounted knights galloping to Arthur's side. Agravain rides well ahead of the rest, furiously spurring his horse forward. For the king in Camelot! Knights of the Round Table rally to me. Lancelot sets a brutal pace as you gallop away from the city. Your heart pounds in your chest, your fingers aching as you clutch your horse's reins. It seems like forever before he slows his horse and you have a moment to catch your breath. Did you take any harm, princess? None. You and Arthur protected me well. Not well enough. I'm glad you are not injured, but there are clearly forces moving against us that I did not suspect until now. That arrow did not go wide. Arthur was not the target. You were. It is a horrifying thought, and yet you remember the arrow arcing towards you, its aim true. You're right, but I have barely been at court a week. Who would want me dead? Do you think it has to do with the Lady Brucin? Whoever conspired with her is still out there. Whoever used foul means to kill her and hide their tracks. I suspect you might be right. Though for now, the who does not matter. The only thing that matters is keeping you safe. He spurs his horse onward, and you follow. Where are we going? The most secure place I know, beyond Camelot's walls. My own estate, the Joyous Guard. Strange. The estate I saw him win had a different name. He probably renamed it after he won. Unfortunately, it lies over a day's ride away. But if you feel well enough to ride hard, I know a safe place we can stop for the evening. I can ride as fast as any knight. I do not doubt it for a moment, your highness. You urge your tired horse to a gallop again, following Lancelot down the dusty road and leaving Camelot even further behind. Before long, you reach a bridge across a narrow river. Lancelot pulls up abruptly ahead of you, one hand going to his sword. Wait, did you hear that? I don't hear anything. Exactly. Birds, no forests, no creatures, no nothing. Something has scared them off. He dismounts, drawing a sword as you try to calm your nervous horse, but the moment Lancelot's boots hit the ground, a group of more masked assassins emerge in the shadows of the bridge. Get them! Oh, Bane! I didn't know you were here. It's an ambush. They've blocked the bridge. Then we fight. Sensing a greater threat, most of the assassins begin circling towards Lancelot, while only a few towards you. I can't let them all surround him. Listen here, you villains. I'm worth a far greater ransom than he is. Surrender in the name of Camelot. Fight someone your own size. I'm gonna go with that one. The assassins look from you to Lancelot clad in his armor and shield, clearly unconvinced. Not interested? Very well. Then I'll just be on my way. You spur your horse to the left as Lancelot goes right. It has the desired effect. Half of the attackers follow you, while the others swarm Lancelot, giving him a fighting chance. I hope it's enough. Lancelot downs one attacker with a single swing, and another on the backswing. One by one, the enemies facing him fall, but one closes in on you, catches your stirrup. Not so fast. You kick at him, but he catches your boot and tugs you from your saddle. Apparently she wasn't hanging on too tight. Your horse whines and races off in terror as three assassins surround you, swords and brutal knives at the ready. Let go of me, or you will lose that hand. There's a whistling of steel, and your threat comes true as Lancelot dives into the fray. You should have listened to the lady. Lancelot fells another one of them with a single slash, but as more assassins close in on you, he risks a glance in your direction. Princess! Ah! Another assassin scores a slash across his side, but even as the blood trickles down his tabard, Lancelot does not slow. He fights valiantly, one slash taking two opponents at once, the backswing knocking a third to the ground, but there are just too many of them. I have to help. You spot one of the fallen assassin's blades on the ground and snatch it up, gripping it tightly as spin towards the fight. That little log won't save you. Well, then you should have brought logs to fight. One of them breaks away from Lancelot and advances on you, slicing a long dagger through the air. Swing at his dagger, swing at his head, swing at his legs. Swing this dagger. Well, why not? You think not? You slash with your blade, aiming at the assassin's weapon. The blades connect with a clang and his dagger goes flying. Think again. The assassin dives for the blade, but Lancelot smashes the pommel of his sword across the back of his head, knocking him to the ground. Thank you, that was close. You did well. Lancelot makes short work of the final assassin and pins him to the ground, his sword at the man's neck. Tell us who sent you. Never. You cannot make me. One digit at a time should do it. Through the mask, the assassin glares at Lancelot with a grim acceptance in his eyes, and then he starts to writhe and cough. Wait, what is he? Lancelot reaches down to rip off the mask, but it's too late. The assassin gasps, twisting, as if all the air has been sucked violently from his lungs. So the same death as Lady Brucin. And then he is gone. Just how Lady Brucin died. Curse it all. Lancelot sways, suddenly bracing the tip of his sword against the ground to keep from falling. You rush to his side to steady him, but when your hand comes back, it is stained red. You're bleeding. Lancelot, how badly does it hurt? He tries to shrug effortlessly, but you can still see the effort. It's nothing, a minor wound. Just help me down to my horse. Well, about that, we have a small problem with the horses. Did they get the shadow? No, Shadow's just trying to win. No, but my horse may be halfway back to Camelot by now. I'm sure she will find her way home, but for now Shadow can easily carry us both. Shadow trots over and stands patiently still as you help Lancelot onto the saddle, and then climb up behind him. Are you ready? Are you? Steady enough for what lies ahead. Lancelot flicks Shadow's reins, and the horse takes off. You hold on tightly to Lancelot, half afraid that you'll fall off the saddle, and half afraid he will. We just have to make it until nightfall. As the sun sets, Lancelot finally guides Shadow off the main road to a small stone chapel abandoned and partially reclaimed by the forest. I know it doesn't look like much, but it will keep out the weather and help with the wind. I'm sure it will do just fine. You slip out of the saddle first and offer Lancelot a hand, but instead he grips the saddle horn and slides down on his own. He winces as he pulls the saddlebags off of Shadow. You must let me help you. I'm fine, Your Highness. You're also tall and well-muscled. Thank you. It wasn't a compliment. I'm pointing out how heavy you will be for me dragging you after you fall on your face out of misguided knightly pride. Oh. Well, if you insist, you can gather wood for the fire. I most certainly insist. While Lancelot checks the perimeter and sweeps out a place in the ruins of the chapel, you gather kindling and wood for the fire. Soon, between both of your efforts, a small, warm fire crackles in the hearth, but its light reveals the pained set of Lancelot's features as he sits beside you. You must let me see to your wound. I told you it is of no consequence, Princess. I can bandage it myself. And I can bandage it just as well. It wouldn't be the first time I helped tend to your wounds. Yes, your pride is blinding him. His expression remains carefully still, but his hands clench in his lap as if fighting against a memory he cannot ignore. That is precisely what makes it a bad idea. But despite the insistence in his words, you can see the pain he is trying so very hard to hide. Care for Lancelot Diamondchoice. Tend to his wounds. Remember, if you do enjoy, to share. Just saying, share the content. I'm afraid that is, this is another thing that I must insist upon, Sir Lancelot. You need care. Let me help. He hesitates for a long moment before sighing and beginning to strip away his armor. As you wish, Princess. You watch her heart pounding as Lancelot peels away his armor and shirt. His body is very, bit as strong as you remember, muscles toned, crisscrossed with scars. And now, he has another one because of me. Last time you saw him like this, it was in the midst of the tournament ground. With the murmur of the crowd, a constant reminder that you were alone this time, the intimacy of the moment is overwhelming. The firelight casts uncertain shadows as you reach for the cloth and water to cleanse the wounds. You have gotten so many hurts in your travels. It is part of being a knight of the Round Table. I would not shirk my duty, nor shirk from danger. That does not mean you must throw yourself into it at every turn. Does it not? I am not jesting, Sir Lancelot. I apologize, Princess, but when one has seen enough battle, sometimes it helps to make light of the scars. I suppose I can understand that. You move as gently as you can to begin cleaning his wound, but Lancelot still stiffens beneath your fingers. I'm sorry. He gently places a hand on your wrist for just a moment, a gesture of reassurance. It is nothing. It is not nothing. And I am grateful to you for protecting me. It is my duty. And so you always say... You glance up, catching him looking at you with an intensity that drives a shiver through you, and the next moment he looks away. I know you're capable of defending yourself. My diligence is not meant as a slight to you. It is just that... That what? I swore an oath to protect you. My word is as important to me, and you mean a great deal to Arthur. The yearning in his eyes makes it clear that he almost said to me. Lancelot, you mean a great deal to me as well. His expression is impossible to read. Desire, restraint, yearning, resignation. It could be any of them, all of them. You are kind to say so, Princess. I meant it. Your fingers brush a spot that makes Lancelot hiss in a breath of pain, and you quickly pull away. I'm sorry you have taken such hurt. It is not your fault. I should have been faster in the fight. Half a dozen assassins ambushed us, and you defended me against all of them. I would say you were fast enough. You are considerate of my pride, Princess. I'm trying to be considerate of your hide, Sir Lancelot. He chuckles, but silence falls as you finish cleaning the wound and reach for the bandages. Lancelot shivers ever so slightly under your touch as you reach around him to begin wrapping the bandage in place. You draw so close to him that you can feel the heat of his body. You remember that the last time you were this close when all of Camelot surrounded you beyond the thin walls of the jousting tent, but now, Princess, you can't tell if Lancelot can sense the tension in your fingers or if the hoarseness in your voice is all his own. You tug the bandage into place and tie it carefully. Thank you. It is the least I could do. Oath or no, I owe you my life. Oath or no, I would do anything for you. The words hang between you as your gaze meets his, and the devotion in his eyes is intense enough to make you sway. The crackle of the fire fades away, the chapel vanishes. It is simply you and him. In the stolen moment, it feels like you are the only two people in all the world. Why not? It seems to take forever to close the scant distance between you. Time slows, and some rational part of your mind whispers a warning. This is forbidden. Princess. Longing fills his low, husky voice, but he doesn't move. So you do, leaning forward to claim his lips in a gentle kiss, but it doesn't stay gentle for long. He parts his lips over yours. Strong hands clutch you, one gripping your hip and the other cupping the back of your neck. He kisses you with the strength of every longing look and strained smile, the chains of his self-control shattered at your feet. Lancelot. You clutch at his shoulder, dizzy under the force of Lancelot's desperate touch. Your entire body trembles as his tongue finds yours. His grip tightens around you as if he cannot get close enough to you. Then you gasp when he suddenly tears away, breathless and tortured-looking. Princess. His chest heaves as you watch. He rebuilds the walls that have held back the passion since the moment he learned who you were pulling away. What is it? I'm sorry I lost control of myself. Apologies could never be sufficient, but I promise it will never happen again. It cannot happen again. Lancelot. Are you saying you don't wish to kiss me again? Princess. You know what is coming. Even as desire burns in his eyes, his body tenses with that implacable self-control. Let me guess, it is your duty not to kiss me ever again. It is my duty to protect you from anything, including myself. I've overstepped the bounds of all propriety. I overstepped them first. It doesn't matter, I know my duty and I know my place. He turns stiffly away, preparing to don his armor once more, and you busy yourself with trying to find something to eat. As if that could make me forget the kiss. The fire has grown lower by the time you are both ready to sleep, but there is one small problem. Lancelot, my bedroll was on my horse. That is easily solved. You'll take mine, and I will be comfortable sleeping by the fire. I will take yours. That sounded awfully like a command. A firm offer. That is all. I've slept on the ground many times in my travels. Please take the bedroll. Fine, but only if you share it with me. What? There is no reason for you to be cold and uncomfortable. We can share it. You try to tell yourself that is the only reason for the offer, even as you feel your cheeks warm at your own words. No, Your Highness, we should not. Please, I'll feel better with you beside me. You're not sure if you're imagining the shiver that rocks his body at your words. He flexes his fingers, clearly fighting some silent internal battle. If it would make you feel safer. It would. Alright then. Lancelot waits until you've climbed into the bedroll before joining you. You both settle into sleep, facing away from each other. It should be impossible to feel the heat of Lancelot's body through your clothes, but it's as if every movement brushes fire along your nerves. Your lips remember the touch of Lancelot's all too well. I kissed him. I kissed the great Sir Lancelot. I kissed him even though I am betrothed to Arthur. The guilt of it should consume you, but as you close your eyes, all you can feel is the warmth of Lancelot's back pressed against your own strength, warmth, and safety. And I cannot regret it. Restless sleep finally claims you, but your dreams are uneasy. You wake the next morning to the song of cheerful bird song and the warmth feeling of Lancelot's arms wrapped around you. Your head rests on his shoulder, and his hand rests protectively at the small of your back. Oh. Lancelot startles awake, and both of you spring apart, struggling to escape the tangled bedding. I didn't mean... My apologies, Princess. The memory of Lancelot's touch still blazes across your skin. When you close your eyes, all you can see is the longing in his gaze the moment before you kissed. No, he rejected me. I cannot think about this. Let us not speak of it. We should get on the road, I agree. Working together in somewhat tense silence, you swiftly break camp. Lancelot seems in much better health as he swings into the saddle and holds out a hand to help you up. Is it far to your estate? If we rode hard, we might make it by midday, but I don't want to push saddle. Lancelot pats her neck fondly, and the horse paws at the ground eagerly. Yes, I know you can make it, but you're carrying two, old friend. I'm grateful she can carry us both. She's a good horse. She's always been a loyal companion. Yes, the assassins should be grateful I dispatched them before you could get to them. Does your horse often do battle with assassins? She does battle with anyone who threatens me. She once chased a bandit from one side of my estate to the other. No wonder you feel so safe there. You ride on through the morning, galloping for long stretches before Lancelot insists on slowing down. He swings from the saddle and takes the reins, walking beside Shadow. Would you like to ride while I walk? No, but thank you. Your Highness, we're making better time than I expected, and Shadow deserves a respite. You nod as Shadow settles into an easy walk, Lancelot striding at your side. But every once in a while, he sneaks a glance at you, his expression unreadable, you trying to break the tension with words. Do you visit your estate often? Not as often as I would like. My duties to the Round Table often keep me in Camelot, or take me far from Arthur's kingdom. But going home is always welcome. Is the Joyous Guard what you consider home, then? He tilts his head, mulling over the question. I suppose it is. It has, been a long time since I returned to France, and Camelot is a home, but Arthur's more than mine. Then it must be nice to have a place of your own. It is. He steals another glance at you, speculation in his gaze this time. Something else. Something that quickens the beating of your heart, even though his next question is entirely innocent. What of you? Do you think Camelot is your home? I've not decided yet. I've only been there a few days, but perhaps it could be a home, eventually. If I can protect it from whatever is to come. Lancelot lays a gentle hand on your knee. We will protect it. Stop interrupting my brave proclamations. They're much less dramatic this way. My apologies. Please continue. You sit up straighter in the saddle and speak as fiercely as you can. I will fight to the ends of the earth to stop this rat assassins, bandits, or foul sorcery. I thought we agreed Morgana was innocent. Morgana is not guilty of treason against Arthur, your Highness. That is hardly the same as being innocent. And I think she would be offended if you implied otherwise. A fair point. She does not accept compliments gracefully. Lancelot's laughter rings out in a way you never quite heard before. He seems more at ease here on the road than has ever been at court. Except he keeps looking at me. The next time Lancelot steals a glance at you, his gaze lingers on your mouth, your heart races, your body all too quickly, recalling the heat of his kiss. Lancelot. He stiffens as if caught doing something forbidden and gazes down the road again. We cannot keep pretending like nothing happened. On the contrary, Princess, that is the only thing we can do. Well, you're not doing a very good job at it. He stares ahead, his body suddenly rigid, all the easy warmth and openness is gone, the walls are back. It is nothing. What do you mean nothing? Are you saying I'm nothing? No, Princess. But whatever you may imagine I am thinking or feeling, that is nothing. That's not true. It must be. Frustration fills you as he continues to gaze ahead down the road, his expression rigidly still. Why do you always do this? Whenever we're alone together, you shove me away with both hands. Because I am sworn to my... If you say duty, I shall kick you. Even if I don't say it, it remains true. Your question has driven a crack in that impenetrable wall between you, and as you gaze at him, pained words spill out. There's no point in throwing one's life away for something you cannot have. I have seen it lead others to heartbreak, and no matter what I feel, I will not follow the same path. I will never lead another down it. Interesting. His voice seems to echo, and the sound of rushing water fills your ears. You blink, sure that there is no river nearby, until you do see one. Another vision. The words fade away at the edges. You see Lancelot at the edge of a river, his face racked by guilt. This is my fault. Whatever happened here must be part of why he fights so hard against what he feels. Why he built such an impossible walls. See, this hurt Lancelot carries. You reach towards the vision, expecting the river to snap into a sharp focus. Instead, something snags you around the middle and jerks. The world seems to blur around the edges until you hear... trumpets? Now, playing as Lancelot. Harsh sunlight shines down over the jousting field, trumpets sound, and the crowd roars as you make your first pass, lance steady in your hand, thoughts focused. Steady, steady. You collide with your opponent with a mighty clash as lance misses, but your strike's true, lifting him from a saddle to riotous applause of the crowd. And the victory goes to Sir Lancelot. You circle your horse around, accepting the cheers of the crowd as Sir Gawain climbs to his feet. Do you truly have to concede me on the first pass, you show-off? Of course. Someone had to cut your ego down to size. Oh, I have no ego. I am modest in all things. The model of humility. Oh, liar. And it just so happens that there's a young lord in the crowd I was hoping to impress. Ah, now that I believe. You ride to the end of the lists and wave at the jeering crowd before dismounting. As soon as your boots hit the dirt, a voice calls your name. Sir Lancelot, you were wondrous in that joust. A noble woman rushes up to you, her eyes bright with excitement. I'm afraid I have not had the pleasure, lady. Elaine of Astolat. You bow slightly to her. It is a pleasure to meet you, Lady Elaine of Astolat. Oh, the pleasure is mine. I cannot believe I'm finally meeting you. I've heard all of your legends about the villains you've defeated for the king, and how you've won the estate in single combat when you didn't even have a sword. I'm honored by your interest in my humble exploits. Such stories bring me comfort when I feel as if I will never have an adventure of my own. I'm sure that's not true. Adventure comes for us all, sooner or later, my lady. We simply have to seize it when it arrives. I'll remember that. The trumpet sounds the next match, and you bow again. I must prepare for my next bout. I hope you enjoy the day, Lady Elaine of Astolat. Oh, I will, and I'll be cheering for you. Weeks later, you're searching the royal library when the bright voice calls out to you once again. Sir Lancelot, there you are. I've been searching everywhere for you. I'm sorry, my lady. I had no idea. I've been looking for the latest maps of the southern territories. Elaine waves away the map you hold up. There's something flustered about her today, a contrast to her eager excitement of your first meeting. I have come on a matter of gravest urgency. And by all means, speak your mind. Surely you must know what I am about to say. The last few times we have talked, I suspected, but then we shared that dance at Arthur's banquet, I knew. A deep sense of foreboding fills you at the words. She has been pleasant enough over the past few weeks, if sometimes overly eager, but but the way her eyes shine when she looks at you now, Lady Elaine. I love you, Sir Lancelot. You are the adventure I've been waiting for. My heart is in your keeping. My lady. Surely you cannot feel so much after just a few weeks. We've met a few times, danced once. That may be the start of a friendship, my lady, but that is no basis for love. But it is. I feel it in my heart. And I fear I do not. You feel nothing for me. Of course I care for you. I respect you, as I respect all the ladies at the court. But if I have led you to believe this can be more, I am deeply sorry. No, this cannot. No! Tears stream down her face as she turns away from you, and although you want to call after her, you know you cannot say the words she longs to hear. Weeks later, you leap down from Shadow's back and race into the humble hall. I came as soon as I got word. Has Lady Elaine fallen ill? She is wasting away, Sir Lancelot. She does not eat, she does not sleep. She stares at the window and bids us to leave her be. But I cannot watch the girl fade away like this. It isn't right. That's why I sent word to you. But what happened to her? You did, sir. It's a broken heart that ails her, and I expect nothing we can do might fix it. Words sink into your stomach. You follow the servants to a window where Elaine sits wrapped in a thick robe, looking pale, fragile, and lost. My lady, your servants are concerned. You must eat. I'm not hungry. If you do this to punish me... To punish you, Sir Lancelot? What punishment is this to you? For a moment, you think that the spark of anger might revive her, but then it's gone, leaving her looking even more like a ghost of herself. My heart punishes me for daring to dream of more than the small life I was born to. Tell me what I can do. Tell me how to help you. Every the perfect knight, boldly offering his aid. It is your duty to protect anyone in need, is it not? It is. Then protect me from this heartbreak. She turns to you, her large eyes liquid with tears, and for the first time you truly believe that she loves you. It's not the matter if she sees you as a symbol of life she craves, or something more personal. Her love is real, and it is hurting her. Lady Elaine. Protect me, Sir Lancelot. Please. I cannot. You deserve to be loved, not pitied. Then love me. It is not that simple, my lady. Then why can it not be? Am I so hard to love? I'm sure the right person would love you as effortlessly as they breathe. But not you. I'm sorry, Lady Elaine. Empty words, they help me very little. Please, my lady, seek happiness elsewhere. Your adventure is yet to come, and when it does, it will be better than anything I could offer. She does not reply, only turns back to the window, and she does not move when you speak her name. You leave her to her sorrow, your heart brimming with guilt. There's nothing I can do. But that knowledge does not lessen the pain that follows. Weeks later, you fall to your knees beside a riverbank, knowing that what drifts on its waters will haunt you until your dying day. Oh, no. This is all my fault. No, my friend. Arthur places a hand on your shoulder, but your heart sits like a stone in your chest as you watch the current pull the funeral pyre downstream. Elaine is stretched out upon it, somehow heartbroken, or broken-hearted even in death, with flowers piled next to her and twined in her hair. It is. She died of a broken heart. She died because I could not mend her heart. Nothing about the heart is ever simple, Lancelot. Love is not so easily distilled and weighed and tamed. We cannot control where it grows and where it falters. I should have found a way to save her. You don't even know if you could have. Do not go down this path of guilt, my friend. Nothing good lies at its end. But I wanted to help her, and I failed. And the very thing I could not protect her from was me. Elaine did not choose who to love, nor did you choose not to love her, Lancelot. If you could go back, would you truly decide differently? Would you marry her out of nothing more than pity? I could have tried. Do not lie to yourself, my friend. There would be no kindness in condemning her to a life married to someone who would never love her truly. No, but surely there is something else I could have done. The certainty of it solidifies in your heart, but you do not speak the words out loud. Arthur may believe life is shaped by destiny and forces beyond our control, but only I can control my fate, and I will control my heart. Never again will I let it lead someone to their doom. The vision shatters, and you snap back into the present with an ache in your chest and pity in your heart. Oh, Lancelot, does he fear his own heart leading his to tragedy as Elaine's dead? Or does he fear leading me to the same sad end, which we both know this cannot be? You ride on in silence, so tense that it almost hurts when Lancelot finally breaks it. I do not wish to be cruel, your highness, but whatever you think might lie between us, it cannot happen. Lancelot. Good, I never wanted anything to happen. Like, what? You cannot mean that. Do not doubt my loyalty to king and country, your highness. And what of your loyalty to me? He hesitates, marshalling the strength to speak the dutiful words any loyal knight should, the strength not to let anything else spill out. This is how I prove my loyalty to you. I will keep us both from danger no matter the cost. Another vision seizes you out of nowhere. The road vanishes. You dig your fingers into the saddle and but you can't feel it anymore. You see a familiar room. Your room. Candlelight chases away the shadows, and Lancelot stands before you, his expression vulnerable and raw. Lancelot, what is this? He reaches for you, fingertips grazing your wrist so gently that you tremble at the tenderness of it. I cannot fight this any longer. As he moves toward you with agony and longing in his eyes, fire leaps from the floor, from the walls, rising to dull roar as it burns away everything but Lancelot's final words. I cannot find myself any longer. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content and want more of it. Also, head down to the description of the video. Plenty of links and ways to support the channel. The biggest and best way, though, if you're not able to support via those few methods that are down there, like the join feature and whatnot, is sharing the channel. Really, truly, it is. There are 3,800 videos, all types of variety, that I very much encourage you to check out. Anywhere from ones that are coming from my heart to just silly little shorts or reviews or gameplay of other games, and plenty of that coming this way. I already uploaded one this morning, which was the God of War boy Ragnarok. So feel free to check that out, especially it's something that might be on one of your friends, family, or your own Christmas holiday list. So it's the first part of it. You'll get to see what the gameplay is all about and whatnot. And though I may be a little partial to it, I do have to say it's not a bad game. So feel free to check it up. I'll throw it up here at the end of the video as well, so feel free to check it out. But without further ado, there is one other chapter that needs to be done today for another book, and then I will be on the purple thing later this evening, covering some new games, some old games, and chillin' vibing with you. So feel free to stop on by and chill with me. Thanks for watching. Love your beautiful faces, and I'll catch you all later. Peace out.